Hey everybody, look, I'm fishing. Ugh, I got a big one. Oh, hey there. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's had a great, wonderful day, or having a great, wonderful day, however it's going.
Burr.
Yeah, and my day is kind of starting a little bad. I've already been outside a little bit, and
I'm gonna make more.
I'm out. So it's gonna be a hard day to be thinking, but I'm gonna try to do it. As you notice, we still got our little tower here.
I would hope.
It didn't blow over, which is great. It's been holding up.
But it's not
Great.
doing us any good.
Yeah.
Just sitting here.
Yeah, it's not doing any good. So, I'm going to show you what I'm using for this little shallow well as a pump and how I'm going to hook it up to bring me water. So, let's get it started. Please, ma'am, please. I want some more. All right, so what I got here is something I picked up off Amazon. It's a little submergible pump. It's a 12-volt pump, so I can run it off my solar. And it's been working out really good. It's got a pretty good flow. It's not like a shutoff pump, so it's just, it flows in, you know, it's not like a pressure pump where you get so much pressure and auto shuts off. It just pumps until you turn it off. If it gets under pressure using my solar, it basically kind of trips out my solar and stops pumping. So you can't put this like on a pressure switch. You have to put it like I'm going to do it, is pumping it up into the water tower, and then the gravity, you know, I'll just fill up the tote, and then I'm going to use gravity, you know, to run my water everywhere. So this will just be something where I just come out here every once in a while, flip the switch, pump water into it, cut the switch off after a while, you know, make sure I'm not draining batteries or anything like that. So, and what I've done is it's got little hookups. I've got some cables there hooked up to it to support and hold this right here. And I've got the PEX pipe, which takes the nozzle on this is 1/2 inch for fitting for PEX or anything like that. So it doesn't have a really big output on it, but it really does push the water. It's got a little mesh, I think 50 micron mesh screen in there. So I mean, like I said, it's been working really great. Oh, and it comes with about 10 foot worth of wire. So I'm going to drop this, and then I can raise and lower to make sure I stay within that 10 feet so I don't submerge the wire where I have it connected onto the rest of the power source to bring it all the way up, because my well's deeper than 10 feet, so to the bottom. So, but I'm also not putting this all the way on the bottom either. I'm going to keep it off the bottom a few feet, just in case if there's some really bad gross stuff on the bottom of the well. I don't think there is, but you know. So let's get started. So I'm putting a little ratchet strap basically connecting to the end of my cable. That way also if I need to adjust, it'll be real easy to either crank it up or let it back down. And this little string, I have a marker with little pieces of tape that I wrote numbers on to tell me how deep the top of the water line is, so that I also can raise and adjust the level of where the pump is, to where if I start getting too much water in there, I can raise it up some to avoid having my wires under the water with that, you know, because I've only got 10 feet of wire coming from the pump, and then I had to, you know, splice it together there. So that way I don't get the wires underneath the water line. Alright, so what I'm doing is this pipe's going to get connected to the pipe that's going all the way down to the pump down there. I've got this piece curving up. I've got going through the top of the water tote. I've got a little hole drilled in through the lid. And I'm just putting me a little elbow to stick down in there, so good amount of length to where it won't pop back out.
And there's enough space around that hole to let air escape, right?
Yeah, and see that's real loose, so some air can get back out of it. And that should work there. Pull this root back. Alrighty, so we got, water's going up, coming in through the top right now. Got my battery bank set up in the back, charge controller, solar panel up on the roof. Everything's working. Got me a little light switch right here, and I see and hear water coming down. So we got this little shut off here we can use as a turn off and turn down if we need to. Let that run for a little bit so we can start getting some water in here. So I'm letting it, run right now. Well, I've got some, some battery going on. I've got a little extra piping you can see there, because that's the way, in case if I do need to lower it down some, I got that extra. It's only going to be, if I need to lower it, might be just a couple of feet, something like that. So let me show you now how I'm going to connect to the end of that valve, because that valve is a 2.5 inch threaded end. You just can't go to the store and find 2 inch threaded ends.
2.5.
Or 2.5. Like PVC. On my other one totes I do have, now they're 2 inch, and they work out perfect, because you can go to the box store, go get you a 2 inch threaded on, making an adapter on it, works perfect. So maybe when you're looking, if you're wanting to get totes or anything like that, just keep an eye on that measurement on what that valve is going to be, to know which route you're going to kind of have to take. But I found out just going and getting one of these little rubber with the hose clamps on there, 2 inch. That 2 inch is actually about almost 2.5 inches, so it's going to be a little bit of a squeeze on there, which is great because you want it to be tight, and clamp it down to seal around that little clamp. And then I've got the 2 inch adapter with a 3/4 inch coming off of it, where I can slide that in and tighten that up as well too. So ta-da. All right, so I already filled up a little bit. I've got right about there. So kind of adjusting, because I'm gonna have it come down here. I think that's about the angle I want. Pretty tight. Put my finger on there, open up this valve.
Moment of truth.
And I don't see any leaks, do y'all?
Nope.
No. And water should just shoot out.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
We have a water tower that works.
Alrighty, so now,
And so this water you're hooking up, it's gonna run these blue pipes down to the animals, right?
yes, this is going that direction downhill to the animals, and then back across the other side to the other goats and cows.
Okay, so tell me if I mess up. So we've got the white pipes coming from the water in the well, connected to the blue pipe.
It's going up and through into the top of our water tower tote. We have our valve here to where we can turn it on. It'll run down to the faucet down the hill, which is here. It goes down the hill to the there. Then this one is going to run back over to the front. At the back end.
This one.
Yeah. So since we are.
Okay, so that one's going down to donkey and pigs.
Yes.
And rabbits. That one is going to go to goats and cows.
And cows. But now the ground's kind of levelish through here, but since we're up 5 feet, the 5 feet will carry itself and push it in that direction.
Awesome.
So, voila! And then, of course, you know, the batteries hooked up to everything.
And
like it didn't even take that long just to fill up to here, which is probably about 25 gallons already in there. So I can just kind of keep filling and filling and filling as long as my batteries can support the pump.
Yeah, so, and then the batteries are hooked up to the
to the charge controller, to this switch that
turns it on, runs to the solar panel on the roof.
So, pretty simple, pretty easy fix. The main problem that you kind of have with the hooking up with these totes is what I really wanted to show you was finding something that fits onto the ball valves. Now, I do know that you can take this whole ball valve off. And I've seen them, I think, on Facebook Marketplace. You can probably find them also online. To where it's like a cap. It's got already a water hose connection put through the center of a cap that you can take this whole valve off. There's normally like a little safety lock on them that you break off, and then you can crank this thing off, and then you can buy those little caps, and I can't remember how much they are, but I know they're over 10 bucks or so for them. And these little black rubber deals, they're not quite that much. I think it was a little cheaper to go this route, but it's that way you can also don't have to put another valve in here if you need to. You've got the already valve on here. So I mean, you got that route too. I would just suggest when you run your piping off of it that you put yourself another cutoff, because in case something happens down the line, you want something to cut it off so you don't lose all your water. So, well, hopefully you learned a few things. If not, sorry. Okay. Y'all have a great and wonderful one. I can't wait to see y'all till next time. Thanks again for coming along. Later.